Welcome to Elderly Advice. Have you ever wondered, reaching the age of 70, is it a reward or the harshest challenge of life? Or have you ever silently asked yourself, how can I make sure that old age does not become a burden to myself and others? In reality, according to statistics, not everyone is fortunate enough to make it to their 70s. And among those who do, many face persistent sorrows, deteriorating health, fading memory, loneliness closing in, and financial struggles weighing heavily. Some even exclaim, "I wish I had not lived this long." The truth is, old age is not always as beautiful as we once hoped. But do not despair just yet. Today, I would like to invite you to embrace a different perspective. If by the age of 70 to 75 you can still do these 8 things, your life is not only admirable but also a shining example for future generations. This talk today will help you reflect on yourself, find a firm support for the days ahead, and discover how to live your later years with freedom, autonomy, and peace. Please listen until the end because sometimes, just one timely thought can change the course of your remaining life. If you find this topic meaningful, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment so we can share even more beautiful stories about aging. Now, let us begin. 1. A healthy body, independence in daily living and eating habits. At the age of 70 to 75, maintaining a healthy body, being able to stand up and sit down on your own, cook your meals, and move around without relying on others is extremely precious. It is not only a sign of a healthy lifestyle in the past but also proof of self-reliance and perseverance in overcoming the limits of aging. Imagine the difference, sitting at the kitchen table enjoying a meal you prepared yourself versus having to hire someone to help you with basic tasks. Maintaining independence not only makes your life easier, it also reduces emotional and financial burdens on your children and family. When you are strong enough to go shopping, cook, clean, and move around by yourself, you are preserving something invaluable, your dignity. You also stay active, which helps you feel useful, connected, and proud. Good health at 70 is not just about living longer. It is about living well, on your own terms. 2. Having your life partner still by your side as your first companion. In a world where everything can change with the years, having your life partner beside you at this stage is truly special. It is not just about sharing a house but sharing a lifetime of memories and a deep understanding built over decades together. There is a certain comfort that comes from simply knowing someone is there. You do not need grand gestures. You do not even need them to be physically strong or capable anymore. Just their presence, the familiar sound of their voice, the way they understand your mood without a word is a source of strength that keeps you going. Take the story of Helen, a 73-year-old grandmother from Ohio. Every morning, she rides her electric scooter to pick up her grandson from school, shop for groceries, cook dinner, and manage the housework. Her husband, although no longer physically active, stays at home waiting for her. She laughs and says, "He gets to relax while I do the heavy lifting. But I would not trade it for anything." There is a hint of pride behind her words. For Helen, it is not about dividing labor, it is about still having someone to come home to, someone to share the small ordinary moments that make up a life. Compared to couples who remarry late or face the challenges of living alone, staying with your original partner through every storm is rare and wonderful. It means you have weathered life together. You know each other's flaws and have chosen to stay. Even on long and tiring days, the joy of companionship outweighs the difficulties. Having your life partner beside you is not just about love. It is about resilience, loyalty, and a silent promise fulfilled over many decades. 3. A clear and sharp mind. A strong body needs a clear mind. At this age, mental clarity is not just about remembering your grandchildren's names or how to get home. It is about being able to make decisions for yourself and weigh right from wrong. Mental clarity also means knowing what to care about and what to let go of, what needs addressing and what deserves only a forgiving smile. Sadly, not everyone retains mental sharpness. Some older people, through no fault of their own, begin to lose the ability to recognize warning signs. They might be tricked into buying worthless financial products or spending money on miracle supplements that promise the impossible. Worse, they might not realize when they are being exploited, risking not only their savings but also their dignity. That is why maintaining mental sharpness after 70 is not just about solving crossword puzzles or remembering where you put your keys. It is about staying alert to the world around you, understanding risks, and protecting what you have worked hard to build. It is about detecting when something is wrong, asking the right questions, and standing firm against anyone trying to manipulate you. And it is not just about money. A clear mind also means you are less likely to be swept away by fear, superstition, or confusion. You can make decisions truly your own, based on wisdom and life experience, not fear or pressure from others. If you are 70, 72, or 75 and you can still think critically, distinguish truth from lies, and confidently plan your life, you are holding a treasure. A sharp mind is the best shield you can have and one of the most beautiful gifts you can pass down to your family. 4. Enough financial stability to live without depending on your children. Money does not guarantee happiness, but having enough to meet your needs without relying on your children brings a quiet kind of freedom that grants dignity and peace of mind. Many older adults feel uncomfortable asking their children for financial help, and rightly so. Grown children often have their own families to raise, mortgages to pay, and unexpected struggles to handle. No matter how much they love their parents, constant financial support can strain even the strongest relationships. That is why the ability to manage your living expenses independently at 70 is something to be proud of. Whether through a pension, social security, savings, or smart budgeting, financial independence means you can make your own choices, live life on your terms, and avoid unnecessary conflicts within the family. And if you fully own your home? Even better. It means you do not have to worry about rent increases, being forced to move, or relying on the goodwill of others to keep a roof over your head. Of course, there is nothing wrong with receiving help when necessary. After all, family is family. But being able to pay your own way and support yourself day to day is a gift not just for yourself, but for your loved ones too. It eases their burden, strengthens family bonds, and ensures your relationships are built on love and respect rather than obligation or guilt. If you are in your 70s and can still maintain financial independence, no matter how modest your lifestyle, you are giving yourself and your family one of the greatest gifts, peace of mind. 5. Smooth communication and harmonious behavior. At this stage in life, communication becomes one of your most powerful tools, not just for expressing yourself but for maintaining strong and healthy relationships. Sadly, many older adults struggle with this. It is easy to fall into the habit of only talking about the good old days or lecturing younger family members about how things used to be. Sometimes, without realizing it, we can come across as stubborn, outdated, or even critical. When that happens, conversations can turn into arguments, and family visits can become something people dread instead of look forward to. But if you are someone who listens patiently, shares your stories without judgment, and respects the different lives your children and grandchildren are building, then you are doing something extraordinary. Good communication at this stage is not about winning arguments. It is about keeping the doors open. It is about offering advice only when asked. It is about supporting without trying to control. It is about laughing at generational differences rather than letting them create distance between you. And perhaps most importantly, it is about providing emotional value to your family, being the person they feel safe turning to when life gets tough. Being a source of comfort, not conflict. If you can engage with your family in a way that brings them closer rather than pushing them away, you are giving them, and yourself, a precious gift, the gift of feeling truly connected, even after many years. 6. Eagerness to learn and ease in stepping outside. One of the greatest signs of strength in old age is not just physical health or financial security but the ability to keep learning, growing, and adapting to the world around you. Today's world is faster, noisier, and more digital than ever before. It is easy to feel left behind, especially when technology seems to change every few months. Many older adults feel frustrated and decide it is too late to learn new things. But those who stay curious, who are willing to learn how to use a smartphone, pay bills online, or video call their grandchildren, keep their minds sharp and their lives connected. You do not have to master every app or follow every trend. You do not have to chase every new gadget. But if you can use basic tools to stay informed, manage daily needs, and keep in touch with loved ones, you are doing something extraordinary. Think about it: being able to read a restaurant menu online, find directions on your phone, or pay a utility bill without waiting in long lines. These are small skills that make a big difference in maintaining your independence. And it is not just about technology. It is about attitude. Being open to learning keeps your spirit young. It shows your grandchildren that growth never stops, that even at 70, 75, or beyond, there is always something new to discover. If you are still willing to step out of your comfort zone, ask questions, and embrace change with an open heart, you are not just growing older, you are thriving. 7. Keeping personal hobbies and finding joy in everyday life. Life can feel very different after retirement as the daily hustle and bustle slows down. Without work schedules, deadlines, or the busyness that once filled your days, there is a real risk of slipping into boredom or worse, feeling invisible. That is why having a hobby you love is so important. Not to fill time, but to fill your soul. Whether it is painting, gardening, fishing, playing cards with friends, singing in a choir, or simply tending to a small backyard garden, having something you look forward to each day makes a tremendous difference. Hobbies give structure to your days, purpose to your energy, and joy to your heart. You do not have to be an expert. You do not have to win awards. The best hobby is the one that brings you peace, excitement, or simple satisfaction. It keeps your hands busy, your mind engaged, and your spirit alive. There is an old saying, people with passions never truly grow old. And it is true. When you have something you genuinely enjoy, you remain curious, hopeful, and connected to the world around you. Your life becomes richer, and the people around you, family, friends, even strangers, are drawn to your quiet happiness. If you still wake up excited about small things, if you still find joy in creating, exploring, or learning, then you are doing something wonderful. 8. A generous, forgiving, and sharing heart. Aging is not just about slowing bodies. It is also about how the heart responds to life's changes. Some people grow old and become bitter, resentful, or rigid. But the truly remarkable ones are those who keep their hearts soft, their spirits generous, and their attitudes kind. At this stage, it is easy to fall into comparisons, seeing others succeed where you struggled or watching younger people live lives you find unfamiliar. It is easy to let envy, frustration, or regret seep in. But if you can choose acceptance over resentment, encouragement over criticism, and gratitude over complaint, you are doing something truly special. A generous heart at 70 or 75 is rare and powerful. It means you can celebrate others' successes without jealousy. It means you can forgive old wounds without letting them poison your present. It means you recognize that life is imperfect, but still beautiful. You do not have to pretend everything is perfect. But if you can approach each day with kindness, patience, and the understanding that everyone is doing their best, including yourself, you are not only making your own life better but also improving the lives of everyone around you. Your family feels it. Your friends notice it. Strangers sense it. And more importantly, you feel it inside, a lightness, a freedom, a sense that even though you cannot control everything, you can control the spirit with which you meet each day. If you have reached this stage in life and your heart remains open to love, laughter, forgiveness, and new beginnings, then you are truly living a rich life. Let me tell you about Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, two neighbors whom I quietly admire every day. Mr. Bennett is 73 years old, and Mrs. Bennett is 71. Every morning, just as the sun rises and the air is still fresh with early mist, they walk hand in hand to the nearby park. One of them carries a basket filled with fresh fruits, while the other pushes an old but carefully maintained bicycle alongside. They take care of each other in the sweetest and most gentle ways. Mr. Bennet still makes breakfast for his wife every morning: oatmeal, fried eggs, and a warm cup of milk. His movements are slower now with age, but they are full of love and patience. Meanwhile, Mrs. Bennet cares for him just as tenderly. She reminds him to take his medicine and gently wraps a light blanket around his shoulders when the weather turns chilly. Watching them, I realize that love does not need to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes, it is simply showing up for each other, day after day, year after year. What is even more remarkable is that Mr. Bennet's memory remains sharp. He remembers exactly the day they were married, the time when Mrs. Bennet had a bicycle accident in 1987, and the songs they used to sing together at the old community center. On some evenings, you can find him carefully writing in his journal, a quiet ritual to keep his mind active and clear. Financially, the Bennets are not wealthy, but they live comfortably. Their cozy, modest home has a small vegetable garden and a few beautiful orchid pots. With their pension income and by selling a little homegrown produce at the local farmers market, they manage without needing financial help from their children. Their children live far away, but they feel reassured knowing their parents are independent and content. Around the neighborhood, everyone admires Mr. and Mrs. Bennet. They always greet everyone with warm smiles, kind words, and genuine interest in other people's lives. You never hear them complain, only laughter, encouragement, and the comforting warmth like the glow of a fireplace on a cold winter day. Even now, Mr. Bennet is eager to learn new things. He taught himself how to use a smartphone and figured out how to make video calls to chat with their grandson living in Japan. Mrs. Bennet, on her part, learned how to care for her orchids by watching YouTube tutorials. Their days are never dull. Mrs. Bennet tends to her blooming orchids year-round, and every evening, Mr. Bennet takes out his old guitar to play a few classic tunes for her, filling their home with soft music and tender memories. And perhaps most beautifully of all, they have kept their hearts wide open. Like any long-married couple, they have their disagreements, but they always find a way back to understanding, choosing kindness over pride, forgiveness over resentment. Their little house is always open to neighbors and friends, and as the evening sun sets, the sounds of cheerful conversations and laughter spill into the street, reminding everyone that true happiness often exists in the simplest places. Dear friends, life in old age may slow down, but that does not mean it lacks color. Every wrinkle is a mark of time, every slow step is a deep melody of life. If you are living through the years of 70 to 75 and are still able to do the things we just discussed, please be proud because you are an inspiration to the younger generations. And if you are preparing to enter that age, let these 8 points be your lighthouse, to live in a way that leaves no regrets. Live slowly, live deeply, and live sincerely, because in the twilight years, there is no need to rush anymore. We only need peace. See you again in the next stories of elderly advice. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment so we can continue sharing many beautiful stories about aging. I am your old friend, always here to tell stories and to listen.